Welcome, everybody, to another edition of A's Cast Live. Thank you for watching on YouTube, on X, and for everybody on the A's Radio Network and 650 KSTE and on A's Cast. I said to Commander Cody today, I said, I want to start with a star pitcher. That's what I want on the show today. If not, I'm not going to be happy. And they produced Mason Miller, who's joining us today to start it off, to kick it off. You're our leadoff hitter today. How are you?
Doing well. I appreciate the warm welcome, as always. So.
No. Hey, wait. They're like, you want to lead off with Mason Miller? I said, of course we'll lead off with Mason Miller. You kidding me? First off, we have the bobblehead here that's going to be passed out on Sunday. It's always interesting because it's you, right? You don't really think about it until you see this figure of you. What do you think of the Mason Miller bobblehead?
I think it's pretty incredible. I mean, that's you play as a player for so long and you collect the other bobbleheads, or you grow up collecting bobbleheads, and now it's your face on there, it's your name on the bottom of it. So I told you before we went on, I think it could have turned out any which way. I think they did an awesome job with it, but I could have looked anywhere remotely like me and I would have been stoked.
And I dig the flames too, because the flames, it gives it a unique feel to it.
It does. Yeah. I think it's a nice touch, and overall, it came out fantastic, and you just get to have a little extra something to feel good about looking at the flame.
So this is the stuff you dream about as a player, right? You dream about success. You dream about what it can be like when things really go well. Do you ever sit back, because it's not that far away from when you did have the rehabs and the struggles and the worry about staying healthy? Do you ever sit back and look back and go, wow, man, this is incredible, because you never knew if this was going to happen or not for you?
Yeah, I mean, this was the furthest thing from what I was thinking about. I was just worried about making it. And then once you make it, then you worry about staying there. So to be able to get here and then have the success I've had has been an extreme blessing and a product of a lot of hard work, but thanks to a lot of people that helped me get here.
One of the things I'm super proud of you about is it's been a tough year. And when you're a closer and the team's not winning, it's odd. It's an odd situation. You sit in the bullpen day after day. Is this the day we're going to get used? Or is this the day the team's going to win? They're going to need me. And you go a long time without pitching, and then you got to come in, and we know feel and command. It's really, really tough. But the thing that I'm proud of is that you've never complained. And a lot of people tend to complain in Major League Baseball. You haven't complained. Talk about that, how you're such a team guy. You understand what's going on, and it's just an unfortunate situation. You haven't been able to be used as much as possible. Yeah,
man. I mean, I want to be helpful to the team as much as I can. And unfortunately, sometimes when we go through these tough skids, I'm not able to get in there. So, everybody in the locker room wants to help and wants to contribute. And sometimes it's squeezing a little too tight to try and get us out of it. For me, I just can't wait to get into the game and pitch. And, unfortunately, I've had my fair share of rough outings this year too. I think overall I've had, a lot of dominant ones, but a handful that have gotten away from me. And whether that's a byproduct of not pitching as much, I don't know. But, I just kind of look at it as the next one out's the most important one. And regardless of what's happened before, how well it's went, how badly it's went, I go out there and try to do my job each time I get in the game.
All right, so when you're done with an outing, whether it's good or bad, how do you reflect on it? How do you go back? Do you review it? Do you go back and watch it on film? When you get in there, what's the process like after you pitch?
I think it's most fresh as soon as you get in there, and you usually are thinking about the things that you wish you would have done different, even during a good outing. I could have executed this pitch a little bit better, or, made this adjustment a little bit sooner. But overall, it's just kind of taking something that felt good, taking something that you did well, and trying to roll that over and create a snowball to the next outing. That's at least my philosophy on it. It's difficult to stay in it sometimes. Sometimes for me, it's success or failure. I could look awful and get the job done, or I could look good and give up a home run. And like the second Phillies game was an example. I thought I pitched well that day overall, but I gave up the solo homer with a 1-run lead, so I ended up with a blunt save, and we went on to lose the game. So it felt like I pitched badly, and yes, I didn't do my job, but I felt like my stuff was good. I felt like it was something to build off at that point, and then was able to come back the next day and get the save.
It's so different from when you were a starter. You think about when you would warm up in the bullpen as a starter. Some days, different things felt better than others, and then you go out on the mound, and now you got multiple innings, and things start to change in the game feel-wise. So maybe you can go back more to a curveball or to a changeup. But coming out of the bullpen at the end of the game as a closer, I mean, it's hell on wheels. You're coming to get the last 3 outs. So talk about taking the feel from the bullpen out to the mound as a closer versus a starter.
Yeah, I mean, as a starter, they still hold screw out of the bullpen. You always say, like, you have a bad bullpen, you're going to pitch well, and you pitch great in the bullpen, you're going to have a bad game. But I think for the bullpen, it's less so about, how you look down there, more so just about getting loose, sometimes really fast, sometimes slow. Just getting yourself in a position to get into the game. And, obviously you're feeling out different things and trying to execute a little bit. But once you get out to the mound and you have those 6 pitches or so, then you really try to lock that in. And then the moment the hitter steps in the box, it's go time. And there's a whole new level of, locked in, trying to execute a sequence, plan, read swings, etc.
And the adrenaline rush obviously is so different from a closer than a starter.
Yeah, that's the elephant in the room for sure. You can't substitute that. You can't fake that. And, even in the bullpen, your heart's pounding under your chest. You can't wait to get in the game. But until you get to the mound, there's nothing that compares to it.
We've talked to you about using the changeup more this year. You have. Talk about the thought process there, because a lot of people would say, your fastball slider, that's all you need. But obviously you have a repertoire that you're bringing from the starter's background. And how much has the changeup helped you, and how confident are you right now in it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't overly gotten into using it, but it's really stemmed from just trying to, avoid that first pitch primarily to a lefty. All 3 home runs I've given up this year, first pitch fastballs to lefties. So you don't really try to use the term like guard the first one. You always want to try to get ahead, but it's just about how I can do that smart ways and avoid damage, especially in games where one swing could change the outcome of it.
You talk about the couple home runs that you've given up this year. It's just, reality is, it's amazing. I don't know how much you think about this, but I think about it like you're throwing so hard that the amount of time that they have to think about it, see it, and tell their body to swing and hit it, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's really, you got to tip your cap. Yep. It's to have a ball coming in that fast and that they square up. It's very rare, but it just goes to show, and you could talk about it, how just good these hitters are.
It is, yeah. And this game wouldn't be as fun to watch or as fun to play or as competitive if, certain guys rolled out there and had success every time. It's a game of success and a game of failure, and about how you can find ways to have more successes than failures. And some days you're going to get beat, and you kind of have to live with that. So, yeah, tip your hat sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's at that competitive nature that, you don't shy away from guys. You want to go after them. And, a guy gets you once, you kind of want to face him again. Not like, man, I hope that guy's not coming up this time through.
All right, so this has been fascinating to me for all these years. What time do you get here every day?
Usually around 2.
All right,
1:45, 2 o'clock.
So 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're not coming in 9:45, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's a mind game you got to play within yourself, because all these other guys, they got to be ready to rock. Game time, 7:05. A lot of the bullpen guys, starters don't go deep anymore. So, by 5th or 6th, everybody's starting to, you see them down there with the armbands. For you, it's at the end of the game. So what is your day like when you get here at 2 o'clock and you know that if you are going to be used on that day, it's hours away?
Try not to think about it. I mean, when you think about it and give it
I'm sorry I brought that up.
Credence, it does feel a while away. I mean, we're sitting here at 5 o'clock. It still could be another 5 hours, 4.5 hours. So really, it's the same routine as everybody else. Get here, eat a little bit, get warmed up, go out and throw, shag some BP, get to talk to you, have some dinner. But, yeah, I think when we start getting close to the game, the routines kind of change a little bit. Everybody else is definitely a little bit ahead of me as far as how they're prepping for the game. And I think I try to keep it slow, and I go down to the bullpen, and after a couple innings and, sitting down there for 8 innings, it makes for kind of a long game, especially if you're chomping at the bit to get in there. So kind of just staying busy, but being productive as much as you can without kind of overexerting yourself throughout the day.
All right, let's end on this. Parents, friends, family, how many people you've got to be sending a bunch back home, right?
Yeah. I stopped counting. But I told Greg and Mark that, just as many as you can get.
I don't send a big box?
I don't have a number. I haven't figured out how I'm getting them home or anything like that. But yeah, I got a lot of folks back home from the East Coast that would love to have one. So I'm going to do my best to see how many I can get back to PA.
Okay, so what are you going to do with the one that you have? It's finally your bobblehead. You got a bobblehead.
Yeah,
You're gonna keep it at the house.
I'm going to keep it at the house for sure. We have a little home gym, and I have some of my baseball accolades from over the years, and I think that'll be a nice little centerpiece on the mantle that you get to see that every day. And
It's
I
kind of
think
like
I
one of
did
the
it,
coolest things ever. You got your own
It
little
is, yeah.
bobblehead.
Yeah, it feels like one of those surreal milestones in a career where it really doesn't mean all that much in terms of what we're doing on the field, but it's
Yeah.
a reflection of the hard work and super, super humbling to be able to sit here and have a bobblehead day. And it's you on the bobblehead. So it's awesome.
You know what it was for the old school players? It was posters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all the kids would put the posters on the wall. It's like, so in the old days, if you got a poster, you'd made it. Now it's a bobblehead.
Yeah, I mean, bobbleheads are probably one of the coolest collectible items out there, I think. So I know a lot of players, myself included. I have my Brent Rooker bobblehead that I'll probably go up on the mantle too. So.
Well, I got to tell you, it's been great to watch your journey and to watch you grow to who you are now. And we talk about as you're one of the elite arms in all of Major League Baseball, and it's a thrill when you come out. It's something special. So continued success. Congratulations on the bobblehead, and we'll talk to you after the All-Star break.
All right. Thanks, Tony.